What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Internet Capitalist Podcast with Luke Kish, where we talk about mindsets, experiences, and frameworks that will help you have fun, get rich, build cool shit, and positively impact the world. I am your host, Luke Kish, and welcome to episode number 34 of the podcast, all about how to escape trained helplessness and move forward. So, first, let's discuss what trained helplessness is. It's exactly what it sounds like. I'm sure maybe some of you guys have traveled to Thailand or, you've seen around the world elephants. And elephants, when they're young, when they're held captive and they're taken on rides and shit. And I really don't like that. I think elephants are beautiful and majestic, should be free. And, I think it's gross that humans, take them and, capture them and whatever. That's not chill. But when they're babies, they chain them up to an unmovable object, right? And they, are little and the thing's firmly in the ground. And the elephant then, when it's this massive, huge, powerful animal that can like rip trees out of the ground and just knock things over and, really fuck shit up if it understood its power, then when it's an adult can be tied up to a lawn chair that's not connected to the ground by a chain. And it associates the chain around the foot with being stuck. And it no longer even attempts to pull because it's been defeated and trained into understanding that this is impossible and this does not work. And that's kind of sad if you think about it. It is sad. You have these beautiful animals and they're trained into being helpless. Really, they're so powerful. They could fucking probably just flip the script, went out in the open and just fucking, crush whoever they're around, rip their foot, rip the thing that's connected to the foot. Of course, if it's a lawn chair, you could walk away, but even greater than. But the point is, at this point, they're trained into helplessness. They're trained into thinking that even if they try, it will not work. And I think this is how humans are as well, which is a sad thing. I think we humans get trained in the same way to stop, to not continue to move forward, and we ingrain these habits. It's like you look at people who are industrious and who are autonomous and who just get what they want. They have a belief and they operate from a place of, I will figure it out and I will push, right? I will push through my limit. I do not accept my limit, and in accepting my limit, accept that I can't go past it, and in accepting that I can't go past it, accepting not continuing to grow and move forward, right? There's just such a stark contrast between these two people. And, what you like when you're working with people, it's like, okay, there's one person who got stuck, said they were stuck, stopped. There was one person who did a million fucking things you didn't ask them to do. Why? Because they're not trained into helplessness. It's not, oh, I can't figure this out, and boom, running a neural pathway story that's like, I can't do this. This is hard. I'm not good at these things. I need someone to help me with this. That just doesn't enter into certain people's brain. And then what do? They fucking Google it. They try 4 things. They fall on their face. They fuck it up. They figure it out. They move forward. And then what are they doing? They're training themselves into being industrious, into being able to figure it out. And then that behavior further carries itself into new situations, right? Things in the future present themselves. There's no longer this, oh, I'm going to get stuck here. I can't figure this out. Why? Because I've proved to myself that I can figure it out and I don't have to get stuck. If I just, use my ingenuity, use my industriousness, use my autonomy, use my capacity as a human to figure it out. Right? There's so many things day to day that are so insignificant that trip so many of us up. Like, it's like, oh, I couldn't do this thing. Well, did you Google it? Right? Like, did you go on YouTube and search? Right? Like, did you sit for a second and contemplate how one might figure this out? Or did your brain just default to some bullshit story about how things are hard, how you can't do this type of work, and how this stuff is stuck for you? Right? And did your brain literally just stop because of that program that is running? Because if you ask a brain a question, it'll give you an answer. It's just most people's brains are trained into not asking questions, right? If I take, impossible situation to overcome, right? Impossible business to build, impossible sale to make. And I take trained helpless brain, and issue problem comes up. I'm trained helpless. I can't do this. They're not buying it. This is impossible. This isn't in my control. I'm helpless. I am helpless. I am helpless. I have not succeeded enough and not tried enough that I now have a belief system that when things are challenging, things are hard, things are uncertain, I just can't do them. I am helpless. Versus same exact situation. And it's, just as hard, just as challenging, just as many things to figure out. Same exact situation, right? Just as challenging. But, okay, this isn't working. What if it was working? You're going to get an answer. How could I try this differently? You're going to get an answer. What could I figure out that I don't know right now? You're going to get an answer. What could I do in the next 10 minutes? You're going to get an answer. If this was to be working, what would it look like? You're going to get an answer. And that's the opposite of trained helplessness. Like, most people can't, if you just ask yourself those questions, you will get answers. When you've kind of let life beat you down, or you haven't asked yourself those questions, you haven't proved to yourself that you can do things on your own, just with Google and with your ingenuity and with your brain, then you have to fight through inertia of trained helplessness. You have to fight through your own stories and your own programming about how you get stuck in things for whatever reasons. And then, for most people, this goes on long enough to where it's just confined. It's just like, okay, there's like all of these things around me. They stop me. I'm stuck all these places. I am helpless in all of these areas. And someone come save me because I can't save myself. Just like the elephant. All this potential, all this power, all this ingenuity, all this ability to be a human, you work your way out of things, ask challenging questions, use your intelligence, use your intuition, use your insight, use your imagination, use what makes you a human. Yet, just like the elephant who's connected to the lawn chair, thinking that it can't move, forgetting all of that power because you've just failed to use it in the past, and then have trained that habit of, I can't do this. So here's my challenge to you. Remove that fucking idea from your head. Okay? If someone is doing something, you can also do it. All right, sure. Are you going to have like natural capabilities in some areas and natural like non-capabilities in some areas? Yes, you will. But with industriousness, you can do damn near just about anything. And this is a belief that you should really try and embody and instill. And you can work your way up this ladder of like possibility and self-esteem very quickly. Like, if you just do a few things that you thought you couldn't do, your brain begins to open up. Like, wait a minute. Red alert. We really thought we couldn't do this for so long. We just did this. What else am I thinking I can't do that I might be able to do? All of a sudden your brain starts fucking, click, clanking the rust off of it and saying, oh my God, wait a minute. There is possibility everywhere. There's so many things that I could do that I don't think that I could do. and then start doing them, right? A good way to shake this up, shake you out of your trained helplessness programming, is introduce opposites. If you can't go on a run because it's the hardest thing in the world, go run every fucking day, right? Like, use your mouse left-handed every single day if you're right-handed. Rather than putting your right foot in your pants first in the morning, put your left foot in your pants. Rather than drying off your head when you get out of the shower, dry off your feet. You'll begin to notice how ingrained and trained the simplest things are into our bodies. And if you shake them out, and these are like, kind of fun little ones, but personality types, right? Like, if you are always very organized, try being messy. If you're always very messy, try being very organized. If you're a very assertive person, try being very passive. If you're a very extroverted person, try being very introverted. And what you're going to do is prove you can work yourself out of your conditioning. You're going to create space outside of your current conditioning for new thoughts, ideas, perspectives, perceptions to surface. And if you are right now trained helpless, which, it's a tough pill to swallow, but I would say like almost 100% of us are in some area, at least, and then to varying degrees. Like, some people, say they have a spouse, a husband, or a partner, or a business partner, or a wife, or, whatever, that has taken care of them and that has, been the place they go for help, for assistance whenever they need it. Some of these people now can almost do nothing by themselves. Right? Say you're at work, every time you have a question, you ask your upline, right? You ask your whoever you report to, they solve it. You're training helplessness into yourself, and it's to varying degrees. So that's my challenge for everybody today. If you're listening, fuck the idea of I can't do this, because that's a ridiculous idea. Just toy with the question, if I could do this, how would I do this? What would this look like if it was working? Can I figure this out alone? What resources do I have? Can I dig into this? Can I figure it out? You'll surprise yourself. You can learn just about any fucking thing in the world in about 20 hours. Mark my words. People are like, oh, I can't build websites. Oh, I can't write copy. Oh, I can't do sales. Oh, I can't, fill in the blank. I don't understand leadership. I don't understand psychology. You can learn like 70% of almost every skill with like 20 to 50 hours of just intense focus. And you can do that every week with a different subject. All right. And then sure, there's massive differences that are made in the remaining 30% of understanding the skill that can turn you into a master. But typically you don't need to be there in more than one area, one or two or three areas. And all of these other areas that are preventing you and holding you back and, you think are so challenging, you can pretty much get to a functional, general level of understanding, comprehension, and capacity within 20 to 50 hours of hard work. Like, you just focus, okay, I can't build websites. Go sit your ass down in a fucking website builder. Don't accept not understanding and push through figuring it out. 20 to 50 hours, you'll be proficient. Don't understand, you fill in the blank. Copywriting. Go buy the best copywriting books in the world, read them, 20 to 50 hours, write copy. You're going to have a general fucking ability to write copy. Sales, like all of it, everything. Golf, I don't give a fuck what it is. Running, marathon running, weightlifting, dieting, I don't care what it is. The trained helplessness idea that happens in modern society, because at the very first sight of discomfort, we say, no, I can't do this. Someone show me how to do this. I can't look dumb here. I can't look wrong here. Is there a how-to video on how to, find my fucking face? Like, is there a 3-step video on how to fucking, tie my shoes? I don't want to like tie my shoe. Give me a 3-step video and fucking, someone hold my hands and fingers. Like, that's how most people operate. And that's why most people don't get shit done. So You want to break out of this. Don't be the elephant tied to a lawn chair. Understand you're powerful and that you can train yourself to be helpful to yourself. You can train yourself to understand I can run through anything. Like my belief system is I can figure anything the fuck out. If I just put my mind to it for long enough, I can figure it out. I do not care what it is. I don't care how challenging it looks. If I apply myself, I use my mind, and I keep myself open, I can figure it out. And because of that, I figure things out. It's really that simple. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you being an Internet Capitalist podcast. Being an Internet Capitalist. I don't run any ads here, so I would really appreciate if you subscribed, share this with a friend that you think it would help. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Have a great day. All right. Thanks. Bye.